Hey, hi, hi, hi.
Yeah.
How have you been?
How's it going?
All
All
good.
good, all good. How
Good.
you been?
So far, so good. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
good.
like day by day, you are getting much more younger and younger, more handsome and handsome. What do you mean?
No, man, I just shaved.
Because
I,
I just had came across some of your pictures. All right. So I was
yeah,
like, oh shit, because I know like you had been playing since long time back. And I'm
yeah.
quite so privileged and lucky to have you guys out here. Like, so it means
It's
to me
good.
and for my artist as well from Darjeeling and Nepal.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks for having me, man. It's really nice.
So yeah, that's what even I was looking forward to meet you since long time back because even my workplace is Bangalore only. But like this,
All right.
yeah, corporate
Yeah.
thing, yeah, work for the whole night, sleep for the whole day. So I can't make to meet you out. Anyways, we'll meet soon. I mean, like,
Yeah, for sure.
so how's the weather out there?
No, it's it's as usual, It's
Okay.
getting pretty hot during the day. It's a bit
Uh,
cold at night. Typical Bangalore weather.
but Bangalore weather is much more favorable, no? I mean, like, even I had went through some of the states of India, but Bangalore I found it very kind of decent kind of people, like maybe because they are everyone will be literate, I guess. All right, because in some places, like when they see our face, they started telling ching chang or something like that, like momo and all. Yeah,
Nah, it
that
doesn't happen. That
yeah.
doesn't happen in Bangalore
Huh.
that much. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
thankfully.
Like very
Yeah.
much, yeah, cool type of banda, like, and that's what I used to go office. They used to ask me, like the piercings and all. Like, bro, my manager and bro, it looks good and all, like it was kind of yeah. Okay, so yeah, we can start now, Nolan, no? It's,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
so yeah, so people like I don't need to explain. I mean, like who is Nolan Lewis? Those who are of India and those who are watching me from Nepal or you are gonna watch after some time. The record. I mean, this will be recorded out there as well as in YouTube. I'll be working on it very soon. So yeah, Nolan Lewis. To say he's a living legend of heavy metal. I believe crossover also you guys play, no? Thrash.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mix of both Thrash
Or
and
yeah.
80s
So
metal.
he's
Yeah.
kind of, I would say, mentor. Like mentor of Indian heavy metal scene. So yeah. So it was like like even I felt quite so good to having him out here. So we'll just talk about regarding how was the metal scene out there. During those days and the moments and movements and all what you had to, like how you had made them understand because the still some of the places are same. Like hey, metal bajata hai. He plays metal. He have long ears. He take drugs. He takes this, that, and all. They are of no use in certain place. But right now, so far, like yeah, Darjeeling was never like that. Yeah, there was some kind of because like most of the people out here is like they are into music. At least they do have a kind of uh, good taste of music. So, so anyways, yeah. So Nolan, the first question is like it's not question actually. I don't want to make it as an interview. So yeah, so when did you form your band? I know
Uh,
it.
we formed, yeah, we formed
Yeah,
the band in 1998, sometime towards the end of 98.
yeah.
Uh, it was, I mean, me and Ganesh, a bass player, we were actually in a band before that, but that band it didn't go anywhere. It broke up in a few months, and then we decided to do something on our own.
Mm.
And because the band that we were in, it was a mix of all sorts of stuff. They used to play some blues stuff like Hendrix, and they used to also play a little bit of hard or Led Zeppelin and a little bit of heavy metal. But we wanted to like start you know, a proper heavy metal band.
Uh-huh.
So that's pretty much why we just decided let's do it on our own. And yeah, we put out an ad in the Rock Street Journal back then looking for a drummer.
Mhm.
And our first drummer, Chinglen, he was from Assam. So he joined us. So that was our first lineup. And yeah, I think we played our first gig in September 1998, I think. Yeah.
Was it BOA or else?
No, no, that time there was no BOA back then.
Okay. Oh yeah.
It's in the yeah, in the 90s it was just,
Uh,
college competition and
okay. Okay.
really small DIY shows, So I think we played in some college in Bangalore. I can't remember the name also. It was really small. And
Uh,
yeah, that's how it all started. Yeah.
So yeah, so I would say that like yeah, DIY sounds good, but like I would say such kind of event as a kind of that's extreme, like see we why we'll play is like we are playing for happiness, right? So I believe
Yeah.
you same thing else back then, like yeah, even I had some kind of heavy rock band out here in Darjeeling, like and wherever we just want this platform except Sadi marriage and all we I mean like accept that but जो भी बुलाएगा सब इधर बोला we just want this platform but I don't think so that works properly because they have a notion regarding ये band तो ऐसा है इसमें भी बजाया था and everything will be fucked up like so yeah so those days yeah even still like to talk about this kind of that garage basement gigs and all it still happens on Kathmandu like
Yeah.
because I've
Right.
been there for 7 years and I love the scene, like each and everybody have their own genre. They never do this and that. They never do that, because
Right.
while going
Yeah.
to Tamil and all, like out there, like in one pub there would be a punk gig, in second there would be a hip hop kind of, and in one
Yeah.
set, yeah. So like everyone is like cool, like and that's what I wanted to make the same out here in my place. Out here, like the people should understand voice music, what we are doing, this and all, because they have a very bad notion, like
Yeah.
so yeah. So people think like yesterday also I spoke about uh, band only with one of my guests. So like like he was talking about the same thing else. Like that was the kind of like the hard. I mean, like what is that called? After Black Sabbath, yeah, before yeah. So yeah, so that time everyone used to look cool, fine. Like they just wanted to be a kind of junkie and all. If they are not also. So yeah, so why I'm telling you is like how was the days when you guys were started up band and all do people judge you I mean like uh, do people judge you according to the way how you are carrying up those days or was they cool.
Uh, I mean, in Bangalore, things were always pretty much chilled out,
Oh,
because Bangalore's always had this kind of, you could say Bangalore has its own rock culture, which dates back to the 80s. Some of the earliest Indian metal bands came from Bangalore, like Millennium and, Crimson Storm and a couple of other bands.
mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of pubs in Bangalore used to actually, until very recently, most pubs in Bangalore used to play a lot of rock music. So in the 90s and the early 2000s, especially, it was like you walk into any pub, you'll hear, anything from
uh,
Metallica and Iron Maiden to sometimes you might even hear some thrash and death metal, which came out
mm.
like later in the
Yeah,
early 2000s.
I I did a one gig in Kathmandu. Oh, I'm sorry, in Bangalore. That was my first year. So like actually I was like organizing Nepal Death Fest and all with one of my colleagues, and we made a
Right,
kind of branch out there in Bangalore, like and we had headliner was I believe I don't think so you came there. I'm like this thing the venue partner was Indigo XP and the cool guy,
right.
cool man, and that was my first experience, like doing a gig out here in India in Bangalore. So like and that time the thing was pretty cool moreover I see is like they are into that trash kind of thing, okay, the way battle jackets, like kind of
Yeah,
like the ankle high shoes band or kind of so it was like okay, cool banda look. I feel that, and even everyone was like the scene was good. Yeah, that was my first experience, and all went
yeah,
good. And even I mean headliner, like they we called a dehydrated. They are
right.
the vocalist is a front woman. Yeah, front woman. I mean, like a band. so they was like killer, like so yeah. So normally you and Ganesh had formed the band, right?
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, at that time, were you guys doing the same taste of music what you are doing now? I mean,
Not exactly, because back then we were also kind of getting into a lot of extreme metal. Of course, we listen to the same 80s bands, 70s bands. So, our roots were always, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, Motorhead, bands like that. But when we started the band, we were getting more into, you know, a lot of thrash, a lot of doom, a lot of death metal, and a
mm,
lot of variety. So a lot of those influences, you know, crept into our music. Probably you can hear it on our first album, even on our second album.
mm,
It was only after the third album that we decided to, get rid of all those influences and just stick to
o-
our 80s influences, because that's pretty much what we do best, and that's what we enjoy playing the most.
okay, I'm
So
sorry to.
yeah, it
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, carry on, carry on. Finish it.
No, the thing is, back then we were just really young. We were like, when we
Ah,
started the band, we were teenagers. We were like, yeah, 18, 19, whatever.
Brad
So
days.
we were, yeah, yeah. So we were like absorbing all kinds of music, from everything from 70s blues rock all the way to like black metal, death metal, thrash, you name it. We were absorbing influences from everything. But after some time, you grow older, and you just want to play the music that you grew up with and the music you enjoy playing. So, which is kind of why our last three albums have pretty much sounded that way.
No, yeah, but like you got that blend. Normally, see, right now, I mean, at this stage, people, like the kids and all. I don't say kids or younger brothers and all. They are totally kind of that tech. Each and everything. We'll come to find of that technical depth. Like in each and everything. And gent, yeah, gent. I used to. Yeah, I do listen sometimes, but like and so what I'm trying to say is like you will stick up into a thrash metal band or heavy metal band of India, and you had represent a lot more. I mean, like gigs around the world, and which is reputed one. Like I was just cross checking that, and it was like, okay, these guys has, like they are pioneers seriously. So like yeah. So beside thrash, I mean the heavy metal thing, did your mind came up, like because what I'm telling now is like, uh, these days I do listen to all kind of music, and as you said, like no, the more we get older, the that like that time we have a taste of music. हाँ ये करना है this age में ये उसको. I mean like that this that. And also did you had any kind sort of mind to like I mean like making uh, cryptos in different genre. I mean like in that metal say it, or like grindcore
No,
and all. Have that notion came to your
no,
mind? Oh,
no,
okay.
no, never. I mean, we were never really. I mean, even though we listened to all that stuff, we listen to all kinds of metal and stuff, but we're not. I mean, when it comes to our band, when it's the four of us together, it's just straight out 80s heavy metal, because that's
Mm,
pretty much what we all love,
yeah.
in equal measure. That's all. I mean, all our influences come from most of the 80s bands.
Ah.
So yeah, I mean, there was never a time when we actually thought of becoming more extreme than what we already. In fact, now we are less extreme than we were before. So
Ah, that's fine. Because like you people have that blend. Like the way 80s, late 90s, and all. Like so. Yeah, it's to be frank, I haven't heard your the couple of albums, but I'll do it today. I'll check it out today. And yeah. So why I'm asking you this is like normally people these days what they do is like I see around. They simply come and say, "Bro, do you play drums? Bro, do you play bass?" And like all of a sudden they'll say, "No, okay, let's do come on." But it doesn't work, right? So what would you say? Like normally, I just want to make them understand, like how to make, because you guys has been fucking, like from 98 you guys are playing, or maybe there was drummer changes and all. That is, I mean, like that happens, like I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, so I'll just come to the point. So yeah, what I'm asking is like, see, these days kids, they'll just form a band, and they get into influence into other kind of like math rock, like they just want this a kind of cool name, like the genre. I do play math rock, I do slam, I do death, and there are so many, I mean, a kind of poser as well, like they used to tell me, is it DEAD, date metal, like, and I was like, no, I'm not criticizing them, but the, I mean, whatever else, like you are listening, go with that t-shirt, right? So it's, like wearing all those, that t-shirts and showing up, horns up, doesn't make them metalhead, I guess, because I had felt the same thing when I went to Napalm that gig. I was wearing a Metallica t-shirt, all right. And people is like, hey, fucking, they are grindcore band. Why did you wear Metallica and all? So such sort of experiences I had been through, like so far, yeah. I just follow Bangalore Open Air also. Mr. Salman is doing very good, like it's. But I missed a couple of bands who was from Darjeeling and Kathmandu. So like even they was going to join BOA and I was making a plan. Yes, wala year, I'll go definitely. I'll take a leave. I'll go. But like shit happened. Anyways, looking forward to meet you guys. And I never attend BOA actually. Like so I
Yeah.
want to attend that. And even I see you guys. You're going on BOA. The I mean like you people wear the t-shirts normally. Like, what band prefer, right? If Slayer is coming, it's not like I have to wear Slayer t-shirt, right? So yeah, so
Yeah.
such kind of notions is here still. I don't talk about Kathmandu because normally if some people will ask me, okay, this Slayer, like us, Slayer ka kaun sa wala geet acha lagta? If I can't answer them back, like, so yeah, so that shit happens. And another thing, what I got to know is like we need to stick up with the work if we want to grow, right? Like you guys did, like no any mind changes. You was into a thrash and keep on doing. So yeah, so that's quite so motivating and influencing. So yeah, I would like to say, if you want to go on hype, I mean like get stick with one genre and the band thing is very, it's not a simple thing, calling everyone, yeah, yeah, aza kar lunga, and that won't work. So it's just kind of my experience, and Mr. Nolan talked about it. So stick up with one genre. I mean like do a good practice, like because yeah, in practice sense, I just came across normally. Where is your jam pad in your place
Uh,
itself?
no, actually, until recently, we didn't actually have a place to jam. We used to hire out a jam room. Actually, we used to hire any place that was available. It's only recently that our guitarist Rohit, he set up his own home studio.
Okay.
So from now on, we'll probably practice over there. But otherwise, actually, we hardly jam, and we it's mostly we
Uh,
just sit at home. We just play our stuff, and maybe 2 or 3 days before a gig or something, we catch up at some jam pad or something, and we just jam and hit the stage.
Yeah, no, because you have that bonding, no, like you guys have played for so fucking long years. You can make it out with your eyes also, like, hey, off that I have to beat this. So that is what band, like, so yeah, so it's not like, yeah, what I mean to say is like practice. We should practice, practice makes man perfect, they'll say, right? But if we want to that perfect practice, what is the use of, like, I mean, like, full 1 week we will play, apna apna dhun mein. So that is not a practice, I believe, like. So, so yeah, why did you ask you regarding jam pad is like long time back when like we was doing music that time. Oh, neighbors used to fuck us, like seriously, like what they are doing this that and all. So the same thing came in my mind, like because doing all those metal on 80s 90s and all, it was like so yeah, yeah. So it was like okay, a kind of cool things. Did you ever face something like that on gig or say it? Cops will come, stop it. ये बंद हो गया, चले जाओ. Did you experience such kind of issue in any kind of gigs? No.
Um, Not really. I mean, yeah, there have been a couple of gigs where the cops have kind of stopped the show because somebody didn't have the right permissions, or there was one gig I think in close to Palace grounds. Uh, there was some influential lawyer who lived across the street, and he started
Hmm.
complaining about the noise. The cops shut that gig down. But it hasn't happened too many times, maybe once or twice in the last 25 years that we've been doing this. I think it's only happened a couple of times. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So that means, yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm telling. Bangalore people are literate. Like they don't have any kind of like issues with others. Okay, and guys, yeah,
Yeah.
we are seeing some the messages and all. So yeah, I won't. I mean, we won't be answering back at this time. So I mean, like I'll reply each and everyone later on. Please don't mind because I can't. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, so that was quite so interesting, and I said you also like I just wanted to meet you guys. Then after going all those things, I seriously, but I don't know why I'm, like why I was busy. I was there for 4 fucking years, and like you guys, and even there was one man in Humming Tree, something was there, no, like Humming Tree
Yeah.
was there. I believe it's closed now on
Yeah. Now
Indira.
it's
Yeah, so that was
yeah.
my hangout place back then. So yeah, I came across a kind of local bands or kind of techno kind of like so the management was quite so good, but I had a bad experience out there. Like there was headlining a band from UK, all right, but they didn't show up. Like and yeah, I want to say that is because of Oscar Entertainment. I heard about Oscar Entertainment back then because we do organize the music. If they have a such kind of fucking experience, so how would like people will come to India? Then I had and by I mean I got her number. There was one lady. I called her and said no, like I send you an email regarding these gigs. Then she's literally telling no, that is not me. Maybe you are that's another person. It's not me. Like I'm not. She doesn't want it to be that she's talking to me. She was just making so it was a bad experience out there. So
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
yeah. So yeah, it's no issue normal, You did that, that's why we are talking about, like it's not like
Yeah.
like so even I wanted people to know like all I mean a particular metalheads, some of your friend Setin Kansas, yeah. Here wrote we have to look about all genres. Yes, we do that. Normally that is what metal for So yeah. So it was very bad experience. So So I just have a kind of curiosity or something like that. I say I don't think so whether I need to ask this or not because it comes kind of different from professional and this. Anyways, I just wanted to know like beside music, what do you do, or full time musician you are?
I know. I'm not a. I wish I was a full-time musician, but
Things
I
did
we all have regular jobs actually because we don't make enough money from the band.
correct, correct,
Uh,
correct.
but I work as I'm a content editor at
Oh,
a
cool.
cybersecurity firm. Yeah, so uh, yeah, it's pretty boring, but it pays the bills. I mean, most of the money that we make from our jobs and stuff, it goes into the band. It keeps us
I understand. Yeah.
going, keeps our tours going, merch, blah blah, all sorts of stuff. Because the band, I mean, you could say that our jobs kind of we actually work just to keep the band going.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Correct.
not the other way around. So yeah, we have to do this because of course we are trying. The reason that we keep touring abroad every year and stuff is because we need because that's actually where our audience is. And
Mhm.
that's where we can actually grow as a band, and it's paying off. It's been paying off over the last 3 or 4 years, except when COVID hit, that kind of screwed everything up. But hopefully, again, we'll be going this year, and it's things are getting a lot better. Maybe in the next, if nothing happens, if there isn't another pandemic or something
Yeah.
shitty like that, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 years, we should start becoming like really self-sufficient. When we start touring every year and stuff, because that's pretty much what we want as a band. To not depend on our regular incomes from our day jobs to keep the band going. We need to do it. We need to do. I mean, the band needs to be self-sufficient in that respect. So
Yeah.
yeah, we are working towards it. Hopefully next year. or the year after that.
Yeah. So I believe that even oh, the person who has joined us, like so they came to know, even I need to say to my younger brothers and all, even he's into audio engineering and all. So he looks actually after my studio. I'm just a kind of old school banda, like so that analog that. So yeah, and I do tell them the same thing, like see, if I won't work, I couldn't have settled. I mean, like make the studio happen. All right. So because those kids, what they think is like, even I used to think back then, may I'll go through music only, I will earn fame, I'll make this and that. So yeah, so things happen on those period, and somehow I say the words what you was I was expecting the same thing, like because not only metal music, yeah, metal music I would say, yeah, if in mainstream I'm not trying to dish mainstream also, but contact but comparing to them, this metal gets very, I mean, like very, I mean, what to say that, anyways, yeah, we used to play for happiness, and you guys are also playing still now. So yeah, so lastly what I want to tell is like, so you need to stick up with one job if you want to do any kind of music productions or say. Am I right? So they should be. Am I lagging? Right? Is internet
It's
okay?
slightly like yeah,
Lag.
it's slightly lagging. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, and so how does that name cryptos? Like who made that, and what does that mean? Particular. Like.
Oh, I mean, me and Ganesh, when we were trying to come up with a name, we were sitting in a bar as usual, and we were trying to come up with all sorts of. We came up with all sorts of stupid names, and we just couldn't agree on anything. And I think it was almost closing time at the bar. We were quite drunk, and one of us wrote Kryptos on a paper tissue, and for some reason the name stuck. We didn't know what it meant actually, but we're like, oh, that sounds interesting. And yeah, later on we found out that it actually means hidden in Greek.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so we thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. It kind of reflects our outlook, because we aren't the kind of band that also gets into the limelight too much. You don't really see us promote our stuff all that much. We all have we all have pretty private lives in that sense, and we are big believers in, you do a little promotion for your band, but at the end of the day, if your music's good enough, it will speak for itself.
I do
Uh,
agree.
yeah, so even if you check our social media and stuff, it's like our personal social media profiles or anything, there really isn't much from about the band from our end. Because I would rather somebody, listens to our music and he tells somebody else and that guy tells two more people or so on, or they watch us live and they're like, wow, this is pretty cool. Let's
Mhm.
let's check discover more of the stuff. I think that's a more organic way of discovering a band and getting to know a band rather than getting bombarded constantly by promo material and ads and all that stuff. It kind of cheapens what you're doing, in my opinion. But I understand why it's done because, of course, every band needs to get their names out there. But this seems to be working quite well for us. I mean, this approach.
So actually, so one more question, like I want to add it up. So normally, I'm not trying to be again poor. I mean, like I'm not trying to like ask you, but kind of personal question is that. So what I came to heard about is like Cryptos and Salman, like guys are, they are good friends. So that's why they are playing Weekend and all. So that kind of notion, I mean, like I had heard about that. Like, yeah, Cryptos is rich band, and after he's a good friend of Salman. All right. So that's the reason, they keep on, like I said the same thing else, and I showed them each and every gigs what you people did beside Wacken. Okay, like so that's what so could you just make them clear, like it's not because of Salman being like Wacken the same and you guys uh yeah, could you just say I can't do that, like normal I ask.
It honestly, it has nothing to do with Salman. I mean, we are great friends. He used to manage us once upon a time. But
Okay,
the first time, yeah, and but the first, I mean, we played back in twice, and by that time he had stopped managing us. We parted ways with him, and yeah, I mean, he helped us get to a certain
that's
level. But yeah, but after that, most of the stuff that we had done, it was pretty much, a a lot of effort on our own. Of course, he had some input, but as far as Wacken is concerned, no, Wacken themselves invited us to play there. So it's I'm sure people will have that opinion because that's what it looks on the outside. That we get all these things and we're doing all these tours and stuff. It looks like we are doing really well, but the reality of the situation is we are just like any other band. We have our own struggles. But we deal with them. We don't make a big deal out of it. A lot of bands they're very public about what they do. They're very public about how they're struggling or how well they're doing or whatever and stuff. We do our things very quietly. We do whatever we need to do in the background, and we're not doing this to show anybody that we can do this or we're doing something great or whatever it is. We're just doing this because this is what we love doing, and I mean, of course, people will have their own opinions on things, even if they don't have the complete information. But you can't help that. That's the way the world is. So yeah, but I can assure anyone who thinks that we were getting favored or something to play at
all.
all these cool stuff. It never happened that way.
Because like we Indian people, what we do is like we do listen to others. Like they will
Yeah.
just make us, ourselves we want to witness that thing. What I mean, like any mans are doing, no, like for you guys, that is your music, which like took you to Wacken and some other international, like reputed gigs and all over the world. So yeah, so this thing has been cleared. I mean, like it happens to me, and even I used to I got some text and all regarding this also. Like Bangalore open here and Nolan Louise. See, could you just ask me that? Like that. I was like, okay, why not? So yeah, so it is because of their music, Crypto's music. They hadn't made their slot on all those kind of international festivals, I would say. Correct. So okay, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe so maybe once or twice, Mr. Salman has helped you or something like to just give a platform, right? But
Hey,
giving
when Salman was managing us, of course, he did a lot of good work. Because for he got us a lot of gigs when he was managing us. Both, uh,
uh,
in fact, our first tour of Europe was he did most of the groundwork. He did pretty much everything. Lot of the gigs that we did in India, it was all his work, and it was a lot. He did a lot of good work up to a point. Then we had to part ways because he was going his own way. He was getting into organizing events of his own, and we were moving in a different direction. So we parted ways amicably. We're still friends. And in fact, of course, we play BOA quite often, but that's pretty much because uh, BOA happens in Bangalore, and we are from Bangalore. It's easier for him to get a Bangalore band to play, and we also have. I mean, we pull a decent number of people to the gig. So, uh, as an organizer, you want to book bands that are actually pulling people to your gig, regardless of who they are. Because as an organizer for a festival, your main objective is to sell as many tickets as possible to recover your costs. So you will obviously get the strongest lineup possible who can help you recover those costs. So if it means booking the same band again and again, maybe, or booking even a foreign band again and again, whatever, as long as the crowd comes in, that's your main objective, right?
yeah, so normally when I was here in Darjeeling itself, or I was in Kathmandu something, the Iron Maiden Metallica has played out there, right? In
Yeah.
Bangalore, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So that was, is it a late 20s kind of, when was it? Because I, like my friends and all used to, like, because we was into that music, like Megadeth and Metallica, Guns N' Roses, the kind of influence. So moreover, like I had a hard rock band only. I don't say a kind of heavy metal, to be frank. And so that's what. So all of a sudden they had this, like click the pictures of like the all those shit, and I was like, and that was my motivation. I don't say motivation, but that is what I want to do. Like I tried also, but money matters. you know. So yeah, so even I would love to give an entertainment, kind of indirectly, like so like people come. I mean, like people will watch our gigs, and also they can kind of stress free. And you said as well, the people who like our music or like ourselves, obviously they'll come and they'll support. If not also, whatever we do, like normally the people who hate us, whatever we are gonna do good to them, they are never, I mean, like like stick up with that. So yeah, this thing why I'm telling you is like, it happens for this new generation bands and all. They used to have a keyboard warrior kind of comments. I just go through that. Like they are dissing each other this time. So yeah, so all those things. To all those people, like like bands who are into kind of taking it personally, those stuffs and all. So what would you suggest, like because haters are haters, they will write all those bullshits, you know so see, playing on this long, I mean, year. So what is your experience, like normally if somebody will come, because these kids are, they take it personally, like, so I want them to be professionally. And I do have some knowledge, and I'll just share them. You should be this, you should be that. And because of opening this Karmalen's production, it's just been a couple of months. I was working in Bangalore only, like from work from home. Then I thought about, if I move towards my native, the expenses will be less. I'll be on my own place, and I can start up a kind of small studio, like starting up. I can in one day this that. So yeah, so all this, yeah. So that is a platform for my in and around artists. Like why am I, like focusing more on Kathmandu hype artist and all is like, to be frank and to come to the point, because if a band or a Nepali band said, if they like move with a Sony music or take T-series or whatever else, it's very costly as well. And in other thing, like I don't think so, like like the people will listen to Nepali music and all, like on all those Indian music scene. So so that's why I mean, like I'm approaching the Kathmandu, like the artist, and also that I want to make a good bonding with them. And normally, yeah, whoever I had met, they are very gentle and kind of very professional. I got some knowledge, like talking to them. And so yeah, so anyways, yeah, even I was, like I was thinking Nolan should be a very proudy kind of guy, It's just my overthinking. Then I said, okay, I'll try, because people is forgetting, like the say the legends, normally what happens is like, it's those who people have started, like uh, oh, kind of a way, say it like for example, I was just going through your Wikipedia, and out there I came to know all those, like the movements, this, that, and all. You guys did that. So normally, is there any support from your family and all during this phase? Like people will complain, people will do this there. What are your son doing? It's not gonna give up food and all, playing all these things. So what was the experience back then, like
That was, I mean, our parents didn't really care about the stuff,
uh,
They they still don't care. They're like, I mean, they never complained about it. They were never against it, They were just happy that we were doing something, I guess. They were never like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, they didn't understand what we are doing. They still don't understand what we're doing, but they don't stop us. They don't really complain about it. Uh, I guess just the fact that they don't complain about it, and just the fact that they don't have anything against it, is all the support we need, actually. Because
right.
as long as there's nobody uh, standing in your way, especially your own family, then that's all you need. You don't really need anything else.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so like actually a month ago I was talking with a female artist, and like the issue was like the still some of the family, I mean most of the family member from India itself, what they think is like girls are being a lady, like you shouldn't get into all these medias, you shouldn't get into bands, and because the gigs and all happen, like at night time, so people won't think good. And normally, yeah, in one sense, parents, yeah, obviously, if someone's daughter is going, that feeling will come. So regarding this, I had spoke with Kathmandu, like the kind of the hype artist, or say, kind of it's kind of media personalities and all. Like it's not only the people who like plays music. It's nothing like that I'm promoting, but artists as a whole. If somebody writes a poetry, I would like to approach them and let's talk about them. So yeah, there is no kind of discrimination in any kind of art if they are into it. So yeah, so that is what I'm doing, Nolan, and so yeah, I'm trying to stick up with this. The people, how how I approach you guys, and you guys say, oh yeah, you are doing good, man. Like, and that motivates me to continue. Like, okay, fine, because see, even I will feel good. Like Monday to Friday, totally fucked up. Like work for, and Saturday Sunday, I enjoy talking to people like like those who understand this that. So like normally everything will be filtered from my mind. Saturday Sunday. So yeah, so I forgot one more question. One guy had sent me regarding crypto. So okay. Anyways, we'll talk another one, another topic. So 1998. Okay, yeah. So the first. So I mean, BOA has been. I mean, the first BOA. When did it held? Like in you said 98. There was no BOA.
No, I think the first BOA was in 2012 or 13 or 2011, something like that. I can't remember exactly.
So yeah, so by that time, you guys are performing in BOA without any miss of slots in each and every BOA you guys played.
No, not all of them. I think maybe three or four. I think yeah, three or four probably. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that one. What he is asking me is like, Cryptos, being an Indian man, like touring all over the Europe, like the I mean any kind. I mean like during good gigs and all, reputed gigs and all, how was the outcome from, like those abroad people, because to be frank, most of the people, they'll say us dhoti. All right. So Indian dhoti, they will say that. So like all this kind of shitty things happen. Who is not professionally? We don't give a fuck to them. No, we don't care also. So how was your experience? Like touring Europe, like as being an Indian band. Like so how was your experience? Like, and what would you suggest if one band would like to approach such kind of gigs in future? So what would you suggest? So that will be big help for me as well and for the people.
First and foremost, I've never actually been to Europe and heard anyone call us dhoti or anything like that. We haven't faced anything like that. People in Europe they're really nice, they're really friendly, and we've never faced any discrimination of any sort in Europe at all. We've always felt at home over there, especially in places like Germany and Austria. Uh, there's never been an incident where we've actually felt unwelcome over there. We've always been uh, People have always been very welcoming when we've been there, very supportive. And in fact now we have tons of friends all over Europe, and it's that's why we keep going back because it's really comfortable over there. It's
Correct.
everything's very open-minded. You know, people have people are very they want to know more about where we come from, what we do. They are very interested in finding out how a band from India made it to Europe, how we are playing this kind of music, all that stuff. They are genuinely interested in what we do. Uh, and it's never been a case of uh, it's always been like they, people over there, if they like you, they support you no matter what. Uh, it's not
Mm,
just superficial support like they do. It's not just a Facebook like or a like on Instagram. They actually support you. They buy your merch, they buy your albums, they come to your gigs, everything. So yeah, going to Europe has always been our number one priority. Every year we look forward to touring Europe
mhm.
because that's where the audience who really understands what we do, that's where they are. They get what we do. I mean, I'm not saying that, people in India don't get what we do because they do, but it's just a lot more in Europe uh, because of the kind of music we play. And, for other bands from India who want to go abroad, start gigging and stuff, you need to first, of course, you need to make sure you're writing good music in the first place. That's number one thing. And you need to have conviction in what you're doing. Your attitude needs to be right.
Correct.
You can't be like, okay, today I'm going to start a band and you record something, you put out an album and you just expect everything to fall into place. It doesn't work like that. It's a lot of hard work. You need to contact a lot of people. You need to push your, you know, get to know people in the industry, get to know promoters, bookers, labels, agents, whoever, whatever it takes. You need to do all that. No one's going to put anything on your plate. You need to get out there and you need to hustle. Uh, so I would say a lot of Indian bands don't have enough drive. They don't really hustle enough to get their music out there, or to really, if they want to tour abroad, they don't really put in as much effort as they should be putting in to make it happen.
Mm.
That's one of the issues with the Indian scene, I would say. So, but yeah, but of course, the main thing is to release good music and to release it on a consistent basis. You can't just release one album or two albums and uh,
Vanish.
just stop, just stop doing what you're doing and expect things to just happen for you. It doesn't work that way.
Uh,
It's taken us close to 15, 17 years to actually start touring regularly. So
mhm.
it takes a long time. It takes there's a lot of sacrifice involved. It takes up a lot of your free time. You don't really have time for a lot of other things, because you're constantly thinking about this. You're constantly working on getting this done. Like when we go on tour, our planning starts like 6 to 8 months in advance, um, because that's how long it takes.
Uh,
It's not that okay, we get everything done in a week, we book our flights and we land up. No, it takes a lot of time, and especially for bands from Asia and this side of the world, it you know it takes maybe double the effort that bands in Europe have to make to tour. So yeah, if bands from here want to actually tour abroad and get recognized there or whatever, they need to work really hard, and
mhm.
they need to stick with it, because you can't just do it for a couple of years and expect things to happen. It takes a long time.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that's what because normally the first question was like, I mean, like their question was like, are you like in, I mean, like in touch with Salman? That's why you are playing Wacken and also that was not a, I mean, like it was not that. So the people came to know regarding this crystal clearly. And yeah, then how like they had approached all those things. And as you said, like we need to stick up with one thing, like we'll I mean, like we'll record a kind of two, I mean, album, EPs and all whatever else, then we shouldn't get vanished, you mean that, right? So we need to keep on moving. So yeah, so that is the point how Nolan and all was going through, still there, like killing the stages and all. uh, so yeah, and yeah, talking about that like and all, like these days I do see, like normally I'm not that so much on Instagram and all, like I'm old school, like I love Facebook because I'm high five. Orkut was there, no, last time, previous years. So that, and I still watch YouTube, instead of Netflix and all, like I enjoy YouTube only. So yeah, somehow what I'm telling you is like people, they go with looks, I mean, sorry, the likes and followers, And some of the in Instagram, I see the influencer with big tits and all. They fucking have 1 million. Like the views. Yeah, in certain point, yeah, maybe she is influencer. Those who want to make a big tits. Those who want to make that kind of thing. But like, and when I see the true artist, like then I felt very much, what is this man? Like this, the person who have to recognize, he will never be recognized. And likewise, even I'm doing that because most of the people doesn't know who's cryptos, right? And I said you about that. There are a lot more friends. I mean, the starting those who all did, all those kind of gigs. I want these people to know they was the person who started up all those things. Like you should respect. So that's why like I'm looking forward for the legendary bands, and so far they're still doing music and all, because see, that is your contribution and those band contribute. Without like your contribution, it wouldn't be a kind of as early as like people. You took a long way from cryptos and like played on Europe and all. So yeah. So yeah, so it's already okay. We'll go on for 50. Okay, 10 minutes is left because I don't want to waste your time. Also, I want to go professional. So we have a 10 minutes left. So yeah, so yeah, it was very good to know you. Not, I mean, like you're such a cool guy. It's not like you are in front of me being alive with me. I'm telling such kind of things because I know, like, last when I was in Bangalore, I asked you, where should I get a cryptos, this thing. I don't know whether you remembered or not. Like
Yeah, I
I
think.
because maybe there are so many followers. Who have. So yeah, so talking about merchandise, see, most of the people, even I was running, I mean, franchise was I had taken with some of the Kathmandu metal merchandise people. So I was looking in India. So at the time, what happened is like there were a lot more bootlegs. All right. So what they think is like, what I explain them is like, see, person, each and everyone can't afford original. I mean, like signature t-shirts of them, like the original one. So if we get also, we need to expense dollar, correct? So like, yeah, if somebody have a kind of money, they will obviously they will approach to like their website only to get them. But what about like the people like me, something like so like. So for that purpose, I was looking forward for yeah, we don't do a bootleg of cryptos. Indian band we won't touch on until and unless if they won't give us a permission or say the contract, something like that. So yeah, so what I'm trying to make clear is like those who people can't afford a kind of say municipal waste or say like whatever else. But like for them, we was looking and I was looking about that. But I just get a fucked up. Why you are doing bootlegs and all. I explained all those things. Everyone is not rich to get like dollars and all. So for their happiness, we are printing that. But if still shit happens, so yeah, and I believe I just had went through
I
last
don't think
time.
it's the best idea to say a bootlegging shirts live. Anyway,
No, no, I just, yeah, no, no. Normally because like I don't know. That is my kind of thought. Like everyone want to get, but then I told you we won't do the local bands and all. Until and unless we don't do that. Anyways, but I'm rid out of that. Now I'm focusing on my production house only. So far that was good and bad, like experiences. Always getting emails and all, no, bro, why are you doing this? It's totally fucked up, shit, man. So yeah, so yeah, so normally you are also tagged in rock and roll originals. I mean,
yeah, yeah, a lot of Indian bands. I mean, it's now rock and roll originals. That's actually Salman's
I know.
venture. Yeah, so he's got the licenses for a lot of international bands and local bands also to print official merchandise in India. So
Mhm.
finally, people in India can get actual merchandise that's licensed by the bands, uh, for an affordable price. So like
Uh,
you were saying, bootlegs, people buy bootlegs because they can't afford original merch, but now they actually have a chance to get official licensed merch at an affordable price. So I don't think anyone should be complaining that you don't get
yeah.
international band merch
Uh,
in India because you now you are getting it. So yeah,
yeah. So while starting up, I believe you guys had, like used to practice listening that tape. There was no CDs
yeah.
and all, right?
No, it was
So
all tape.
so that's what I mean. These days, what I see is like we'll get each and every tabs on, YouTube or say it in anything else. So, do you think it's a kind of, like laziness? Does it work on future? I mean, see, on those time, I believe you have to put that tape and, like rewind forward and all into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that quite so cool, and I literally say, I mean, like this, my brothers and all also, try to listen to the music, grab it from your hearing power, like normal tab to mil jayega normal. So what would you suggest? Like, is it does do you think does the tab and all matters? Like it's a kind of cut short. I mean to say, So what is your the idea regarding
I mean,
like yeah.
personally, personally for me, I don't really listen to music online that much. I
Mm-hmm.
I still buy CDs, vinyls, tapes, whatever. I've always been buying my music. I don't. I prefer listening to it in a physical format. I don't really like listening to it online or digitally or whatever. Uh, which is I get why people do it nowadays because it's convenient. You have Spotify, YouTube, all this stuff. But I think on the flip side, of course, now you have access to a lot more music than we had when we were growing up. But on the flip side, music almost become like fast food. You can click a button and you can get any song you want. You can literally skip from song to song to song to song by 10,000 different artists, and yeah, it's fine. But if you really want to get into a band, get into their discography, whatever, you need to listen to entire albums. You need to get in. If you really like a certain band, get into the music, get into everything they've done. That's kind of how we grew. That's how I grew up.
Uh,
With my favorite bands, I would buy everything that they released. I would get into the minute details, listen to all the deep cuts, everything, the lyrics. I would sit with my cassettes and look at the booklets or my CDs or whatever it is. Uh, it it brings you closer to the music. That's what I can see. Right now, there's no connect between the listener and the band that they're listening to online. It's just something on your screen. It's a thumbnail, or it's just an image. But with
click.
the physical copy with you, you actually get to read the liner notes, you get to read the lyrics, you get to read the thanks list, you look at the photographs, you get to stare at the art while the music's playing. You really get into the music a lot more, which a lot of people, especially in India, don't seem to be actually doing. They are
Yeah,
they're
I
so
agree.
obsessed with they're so obsessed with getting music online for as cheap as possible, and just putting it out on social media, and pretending like they know so much about this band or that band, when actually all they're doing is just copy pasting stuff from Wikipedia or something. I just I've it might seem a bit cynical, but that's pretty much the way I look at how things are. There's only a small group of people around the country that still listens to music in a physical format. Uh, and I think for me, that's the best way to go. Listen to your music in a physical format, support the bands you like, buy their stuff, buy their merch, buy their CDs, buy their vinyls, buy their tape, buy whatever that can support them. Because if you're buying a Spotify subscription or downloading music from somewhere, it's not helping the bands at all. So it, if you really love the music, you will really get into it. You'll do whatever it takes for to get into that music and support the bands you like. Uh, Apart from that, it's just I term it as just casual listening. It's
Mm.
not really you're not really a fan. It's just it's Yeah, you might like the music, but if you really want to be a fan and really support it, you need to really get into it.
Hmm. I agree with that. But somehow, sometimes I think the social media would be a good platform to, like, I mean, promote your music from my ideas, as I was talking about that big tits and all, Instagram and all. So like people just,
I
check
mean, if I if I had big tits, even I would do that.
yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, but the one who need to get, like recognized, they won't be that, and the same thing happened, last time. The same question I asked to one of my guests. She was a lady. I can't name her, and I was like, even she said me, I believe even you do like her pictures, and it's so embarrassing. So yeah, apart job. So okay. So I'll just take your 4 minutes. All right. So yeah. So for this thing, later on, let's see. I'm just trying to upgrade my the podcast studio. Like beside my. So however, I'm trying to like make it bigger. I'm going with websites and all, so that and after that, even I will call you. I mean, like those whoever has supported me at this time, those motivated and inspired me. Keep on doing. No, nothing matters. You go live. I mean, like in Instagram or whatever else. Like you are going live, but and so that's what. So later on, again, I'll ask. I'm not. I'll request you to like come with my upgrade version. So definitely I mean I believe like you won't deny at the time. So yeah, I'll make it bigger, to be frank, because
Yeah, sure.
yeah, because see, you guys are giving me a time, correct? You guys are giving me a time, like staying in this, like Instagram live and all. What happens, like you wasted your energy, whatever I spoke, it will be get vanish. I just want to make it like one fucking kind of the video, like so like people can like watch. People needs to know, okay, this was cryptos and this was okay, they did this, that and all. So yeah, so for that also we have opened up a website called any.rocks. Right. So out there, it's a streaming platform, a kind of SoundCloud. So I'll send you the link as well. And out there, any kind of artist can like stream their music, any kind of, they can make their own portfolio as well. Like, so if somebody will ask, like portfolio or say, for gigs and all, they can make their own page, and like they can share the same link towards all of this. So yeah, so that all we are doing, and still I keep on posting that thing. I say personally also, bro, see, this is all we are doing for you, at least, like normally, like I don't know what they think. So so that pissed me off, and yes, we are working for maybe mid of this year. We are looking forward to pay artists as well, a kind of in view listeners and all, like you do have the views and all, no, according to that they'll be getting paid. So like that only, we are looking forward for, people who listen to your music, like according to the listeners, that we are looking forward to, pay some capital. So, like, and beside that, yes, it's like it may sound a kind of what to say, uh, kind of I didn't got that particular word. Okay, so so yeah, so that all we are doing. And in the sense, yeah, we I told you, like we are opening, I mean, like we are doing all those things because to promote our music, to make it simple, because so many people doesn't know what is music production. Okay. And the same thing, like I had people from Delhi, like Redemption Records and all, and they had, came for the free seminar. I just looked after it, but nobody, normally there was very less people who showed up, so that feels very much kind of I don't feel good, I'm doing this, at least come, man, it's not for me, I have my own job. Like just for you guys, I say somewhat. Yes, these days I'm getting quite much emails and all regarding, like the music and also, so I feel like, like a good thing, so at least, so that matters for me. I don't want any money and all, but please be thankful and, respect others what they are doing, that's it. So yeah, I'll check. I'll send you that any.rocks website. You just go through it, like. So if there's any kind of confusion or clarification, you can ping me up or you can call me anytime, or else, yeah. So you just watch once. I mean, like, the website. You just check that out. How did you find? If you think we need to do some kind of, because you yourself are editor, so what we need to change on that files and all, you can let me know. That would be a big help for me. Like, because I wanted to make it a kind of top notch. Like, so like. देखने में भी, like it should be, these bands are very professional kind of thing. Fake it until you get it type. So yeah, so for that we are making it, and yeah, it's going so far so good. So that's it, and even share your friends, like, like this all link which I'm saying. It's not like your friends or you have to do it, like, I mean, you have to, download. I mean, your records to my website, and I'm not talking about that, but just spread that out. That will be a big help for me and the person who has created that, like my teammate. So yeah, it's nice talking to you, bro. And so, what would you say, lastly, to your friends following regarding the metal music, or say any kind of music? Like, could you just convey, or else you can talk about your, how many, I mean, like, normally how you do your voice exercises throughout this and also. Is
I
there any kind of
I
tip you
don't
could?
do it. I don't do any voices.
Okay. Alright. Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, but you can tell them, no, like in any kind of, like the upcoming musician, those who are also looking forward for a band like you who want to, I mean, like go up. As you told that earlier, like you need to get stick up with it. Beside that, is there any kind of tips? So like, or kind of fellow musician, needs to look after that. Any?
But I don't know. Just have a sense of humor about the whole thing, because this. I mean, doing music in India is not easy, and it's pretty tough. So if you don't have a sense of humor about what you're doing, and if you can't roll with the hard times, then there's no point in actually doing it. Yeah,
Correct.
enjoy the good times, power through the bad times, and just have fun. Just have fun at the end of the day. I mean, music's supposed to be fun, Of course, it
Uh,
can be hard work, but if you're not enjoying it, then there's no point in doing it. So unless
correct,
you're
correct.
enjoying it, don't do it.
Uh, okay, so yeah, and thank you for your, I mean, like, kind of acknowledgement or a request what I had sent you. Like you came to a small kind of Instagram live and all, which is, I mean, like a big support for me myself as well. Like to look out that my branding and all. Like for my studio production branding and all. Because yeah, so I'm very much thankful. And I said you, I was thinking like he was very kind of rude. That fucking that death metal kind of person, huh? Like, and I was like, okay, that was my kind of this thing overthink, like. Anyways, it's good to know you personally, and I mean, like, I am feeling lucky to talk with guys like, like all the artists who ever had, like accepted my request to come in live and all. So yeah, I'm much more thankful for them as well. So yeah, and I keep on, like doing this thing, but all I want is like support from you guys. That's it. And yes, and this time I'll manage to meet you when I come back to Bangalore. Let's see. I do have some more. I need to get some more ideas also. There are some kind of initiative I'm looking through. Let's see. And for that thing, I need to, like visit you guys. Like. So yeah,
It was good talking to you.
yeah, it's lagging actually. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, so we'll just wind up now, and I'll be keeping in touch with you if there is any kind of uh, the help and all I want. Like I'll try to resolve from my end only. But if it, I mean, like doesn't work, then like, because you guys are experienced. Like once you ask, it's a joker for a time. Once you never ask, it's a joker for a lifetime, right? So I don't feel like, like getting in touch with you. So, and thank you, like for making this Indian metal scene on that level, representing India and all. That is what, we feel good. normally, India ka bhi band hai. Whenever we see that India flag, in vacuum and all, I feel, glad. I don't know why, but that matters, that vibes. So yeah, so thank you for your, representing India as a middleman and all, which I can do personally from my end. Let's see later on what I can do to you guys. And okay, so thank you, Nolan. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. It was fun.
Okay, so bye. So I'll keep in touch. And thank you so much.
I think the connection's gone. Anyway, I'll
Yeah.
see you later. Yeah, take care.
Okay, we'll close it.